Hello everyone. Today we will discuss an article from the Economic Times. The title of this editorial is Structural Reforms, Not Just Spending. In order to understand the article to the core, we first need to fully understand what are structural reforms. Now, by an overview, there are four types of reforms: structural, fiscal, infrastructural, and capital and money market reforms. Now, structural reforms tackle obstacles to the fundamental or basic drivers of growth by liberalizing labor, product and services markets, thereby encouraging job creation and investment and improving productivity. They are designed to improve or boost an economy's competitiveness, growth potential, and adjustment capacity. Now, clearly, the title of this article suggests that merely increased spending is not going to be enough. Structural reforms are needed, which ensure that this money spent is utilized in the best ways possible. So let's read and find out what this article has to say. Structural reforms, not just spending. The economy was tanking before the pandemic. To tank is to fail completely, especially at a great financial cost. The national income data for the last quarter of 2019-20 does not contain many surprises. Growth of 3.1% in quarter 4 has been preceded by ever slower growth quarter after quarter, 2.5% in quarter 1, 4.4% in quarter 2, and 4.1% in quarter 3. Now, national income is the money value of all goods and services produced in a country in a financial year. So in the fiscal year 2019-20, quarter 1 saw the growth rate of 5.2%, quarter 2 of 4.4%, and quarter 3 of 4.1%. क्वार्टर 4 के कैलकुलेशंस अभी आए हैं और इट हैज़ बीन पेग्ड एट 3.1%. तो अब पूरे ईयर का ग्रोथ चाहिए तो इन चारों क्वार्टर्स के ग्रोथ का एवरेज निकाल देंगे. इट विल कम टू 4.2%. सो वी कैन से that on the basis of the available data, Indian economy grew at 4.2% in fiscal year 2019-20. The nominal growth for the year as a whole came to just 7.2%, below the 7.5% hoped for in the second advance estimate. अब नॉमिनल ग्रोथ क्या होता है और ये इतना ज़्यादा कैसे है? ग्रोथ को मेजर करने के दो तरीके होते हैं. एक तरीका है उसको करंट प्राइसेस पे कैलकुलेट करने का और दूसरा है उसको किसी भी बेस ईयर के कांस्टेंट प्राइस पे कैलकुलेट करने का. जब करंट प्राइसेस पे कैलकुलेट करते हैं तो उसको नॉमिनल ग्रोथ रेट कहते हैं और जब बेस ईयर के प्राइस से कंपेयर करके कैलकुलेट करते हैं तब बेस ईयर से अभी तक प्राइसेस में कितना इन्फ्लेशन हुआ इसको भी कंसिडर करते हैं. इससे जो ग्रोथ रेट मिलती है उसे रियल ग्रोथ रेट कहते हैं. इस स्टेटमेंट में नॉमिनल ग्रोथ की बात हुई है जो 7.2% आई है. इसमें इन्फ्लेशन को सब्ट्रैक्ट करते तो रियल वैल्यू आती एंड दैट वी कंक्लूडेड इन द लाइन अबव टू बी 4.2%. दिस वुड नेचुरली डिप्रेस टैक्स कलेक्शंस. Manufacturing had slipped deeper and deeper into negative territory for 3 consecutive quarters and construction for 2. Gross fixed capital formation was down to 26.9% for the year as a whole. Clearly, the economy was in deepening trouble even before the pandemic-induced lockdown began on March 25. Gross fixed capital formation, or GFCF, is also called investment. It is defined as the acquisition of produced assets, including production of such assets by producers for their own use minus disposals. अगर बिल्कुल सरल शब्दों में समझें तो ग्रॉस फिक्स कैपिटल फॉर्मेशन इज द मैक्रो इकोनॉमिक टर्म फॉर इन्वेस्टमेंट एंड इन्वेस्टमेंट वाज डाउन टू 26.9% इन द लास्ट फिस्कल ईयर. तो ऐसे ही सारे मैक्रो इकोनॉमिक इंडिकेटर्स को देखें, सेक्टर वाइज ग्रोथ को देखें तो पता चलता है कि भारत की अर्थव्यवस्था इस पैंडेमिक और लॉकडाउन के पहले से ही मुश्किलों में थी. इट इज़ इम्पेरेटिव टू फिक्स द फैक्टर्स बिहाइंड द एक्सेलरेटेड स्लो डाउन टू गेट आउट ऑफ द करंट rut in which the economy finds itself. That means essential structural reforms and not just a larger government spending spree. Now, rut is a pattern of behavior that has become dull and unproductive. The slowdown in the Indian economy can well be called a rut. In this situation, only increasing spending won't help. Structural reforms are imperative, are vitally important. The banking system has turned dysfunctional, incapable of mediating people's savings to industry. Blame accumulated bad loans, slow pace of insolvency resolution, political failure to fix the crisis in the power sector that accounts for a large share of the non-performing assets on the bank's books, and the fear of legitimate credit decisions launching criminal investigations. And there is no functional bond market to let companies raise debt directly from savers. The government needs to fix the banks and create a functional market for corporate bonds. So the reasons for the failure of the banking system have been enlisted here. It has been recommended to improve the corporate bond market so that people are able to invest their savings and the money can be channeled into productive economic activities. That will help in pulling the banks out of the NPA trap eventually. This alone can raise the rate of investment, which must rise to well above 30% of GDP for economic growth to regain force and become sustainable. सिर्फ कॉर्पोरेट बॉन्ड मार्केट को फंक्शनल बना देंगे, यूज़र फ्रेंडली कर देंगे तो इन्वेस्टमेंट जीडीपी के 30% से भी ज़्यादा बढ़ सकता है. Buyout stalled real estate and other infrastructure projects that are inherently viable and complete them through state-owned entities. Buyout का मतलब होता है purchasing of controlling shares in a company. अगर buyout stalled है, इसका मतलब रियल एस्टेट सेक्टर में कंपनीज के शेयर भी बिक नहीं रहे. Fund them through state-owned vehicles, the bonds issued by which would be purchased by RBI. Let these and other corporate bonds be actively traded in the debt market in which the Employees Provident Fund and the National Pension Scheme become active. They will, once it is possible to hedge against risks and transaction taxes are removed. इस पूरे पैराग्राफ में ये सजेशन है कि रियल एस्टेट कंपनीज के शेयर्स को और इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर प्रोजेक्ट्स को स्टेट गवर्नमेंट फंड करे, स्टेट गवर्नमेंट बॉन्ड इशू करे और उस बॉन्ड को आरबीआई परचेज करे. इनके साथ कॉर्पोरेट बॉन्ड्स की भी एक्टिव ट्रेडिंग हो और ईपीएफ और एनपीएस के फंड्स को भी यूज़ किया जाए. ट्रांजैक्शन टैक्सेस हटा देंगे और रिस्क से प्रोटेक्ट करेंगे तो इन्वेस्टर्स और ट्रेडर्स को तब ये करना आसान हो जाएगा. These are the suggestions provided in this article to help revive growth in the Indian economy. I hope you understood most of it. Queries and suggestions are welcome. Do answer the questions mentioned in the description box for better clarity. Now, this is me signing off for today. Take care of yourself. Stay in and stay safe.